In this podcast episode, Joe Rogan sits down with Amanda Knox, a woman whose life took a dramatic turn when she was wrongfully convicted of murder in Italy. Their conversation delves into various aspects of her life, her experiences, and the broader implications of her story. Knox begins by discussing her new book titled Free: My Search for Meaning, which explores the multifaceted nature of freedom. She reflects on the idea that freedom is not merely the absence of physical constraints, such as being imprisoned, but also encompasses the emotional and psychological aspects of one's life. Knox emphasizes that true freedom involves understanding one's circumstances and finding ways to navigate through them, especially when feeling trapped by past experiences. She elaborates on how her journey has been shaped by the events that transpired during her wrongful conviction. Knox explains that while she was physically released from prison, the emotional scars and societal perceptions lingered. This duality of being free, yet still feeling confined by her past, is a central theme in her narrative, prompting her to question what it truly means to be free. Knox provides a brief recap of her harrowing experience, which began when she was studying abroad in Perugia, Italy. At the age of 20, her roommate was tragically murdered, and Knox found herself accused of orchestrating the crime. The ensuing trial was a media spectacle, filled with sensationalism and misinformation. Knox recounts how she was sentenced to 20 years in prison, despite the lack of evidence against her. The international attention surrounding her case was overwhelming, and Knox reflects on how the internet and social media played a significant role in shaping public perception. She notes that the early 2000s marked a time when social media was just beginning to take off, allowing for echo chambers that amplified the narrative against her. This experience of being thrust into the public eye, coupled with the wrongful accusations, profoundly impacted her life and identity. A significant portion of the conversation revolves around Knox's relationship with her prosecutor, who played a pivotal role in her wrongful conviction. Knox discusses how, after her release, she sought to understand the motivations behind his actions. She describes her decision to reach out to him, which many might find surprising given the circumstances. Knox explains that her approach was rooted in a desire for clarity and closure. She wanted to confront him about the decisions he made that led to her imprisonment. This dialogue, she believes, is essential for her healing process. Knox acknowledges that while many may view her actions as insane, she sees it as a way to reclaim her narrative and find peace with her past. The topic of forgiveness arises as Knox reflects on her journey toward healing. She discusses the complexities of forgiving someone who has caused you immense pain. Knox emphasizes that forgiveness does not mean condoning the actions of the person who wronged you. Rather, it is about freeing oneself from the burden of anger and resentment. She shares her perspective on how forgiveness can be empowering, allowing individuals to take control of their narratives. Knox's willingness to engage with her prosecutor stems from her understanding that holding on to anger would only prolong her suffering. By choosing to forgive, she aims to break the cycle of negativity and find a path toward personal growth. Knox and Rogan delve into the role of social media in shaping public opinion and its impact on her case. Knox reflects on how the internet allowed for the rapid spread of misinformation, which ultimately contributed to her wrongful conviction. She notes that the sensationalized narratives created by the media often overshadowed the truth, leading to a distorted perception of her character. The conversation highlights the dangers of social media echo chambers, where individuals can become entrenched in their beliefs without considering alternative perspectives. Knox emphasizes the need for critical thinking and media literacy in today's digital age, as the consequences of misinformation can be dire, as evidenced by her own experience. Throughout the podcast, Knox grapples with the concept of victimhood. She acknowledges that while she is a victim of a wrongful conviction, she also recognizes the pain experienced by her roommate's family. This duality complicates her feelings about sharing her story. Knox expresses concern that some may view her as overshadowing the tragedy of her roommate's murder. She articulates the struggle of navigating her identity as a victim while also wanting to honor the memory of her friend. Knox's reflections on victimhood raise important questions about the complexities of trauma and the ways in which society perceives and categorizes victims. She advocates for a more nuanced understanding of victimhood that encompasses multiple perspectives. Knox discusses her ongoing journey of healing and self-discovery. She emphasizes that healing is not a linear process. It involves ups and downs, moments of clarity, and periods of confusion. Knox shares her experiences with therapy and self-reflection, highlighting the importance of addressing one's emotional wounds. She also touches on the role of community and support systems in her healing journey. Knox expresses gratitude for the people who have stood by her side throughout her struggles, recognizing that their support has been instrumental in her recovery. This sense of connection and belonging has helped her navigate the complexities of her past and find a way forward. The conversation shifts to the power of storytelling as a means of processing trauma and sharing experiences. Knox reflects on how writing her book has been a cathartic experience, allowing her to reclaim her narrative and share her truth with the world. She believes that storytelling can be a powerful tool for healing, both for the storyteller and the audience. Knox emphasizes the importance of sharing one's story authentically, as it can resonate with others who may have faced similar challenges. By opening up about her experiences, she hopes to inspire others to confront their own pain and find strength in vulnerability. This act of storytelling becomes a way to connect with others and foster empathy in a world that often feels divided. Knox and Rogan discuss the intersection of justice and media, particularly in high-profile cases. Knox reflects on how the media's portrayal of her case influenced public perception and the legal proceedings. She highlights the need for responsible journalism that prioritizes truth over sensationalism. The conversation raises important questions about the role of the media in shaping narratives and the potential consequences of misinformation. Knox advocates for a more ethical approach to reporting, one that considers the impact of words and images on individuals' lives. She believes that the media has a responsibility to uphold the truth and serve the public interest, rather than perpetuating harmful stereotypes and narratives. As the podcast draws to a close, Knox emphasizes the importance of empathy in understanding the complexities of human experiences. She believes that empathy is essential for fostering connection and compassion in a world that often feels divided. Knox encourages listeners to approach others with an open heart and a willingness to understand their perspectives, even when they differ from their own. This call for empathy resonates throughout the conversation as Knox reflects on her own journey of healing and the relationships she has built along the way. By choosing to see others as human beings with their own struggles, she believes that we can create a more compassionate and understanding world.